Good day, guys. What is going on? You find us back in Melbourne. We are currently in a hotel room. I would show you the view out the window, but it's not a particularly special view. Anyway, what are we doing in Melbourne? Well, we're actually starting another crazy road trip. I know we've just finished the last one, kind of, but this one is even bigger and it's going to make the East Coast road trip look like a casual Sunday evening drive. Honestly, this one is going to be crazy, but more on that later. Tonight, we are in Melbourne because we are checking out Melbourne's famous winter market. Obviously, for us right now, it's winter in Australia. It's cold in some places. Victoria gets chilly, but nothing like a real British winter. There's no snow. It's not like minus temperatures. You'll be all right with a jacket, maybe a woolly hat. But in the UK, winter is synonymous with Christmas and, of course, Christmas markets. Who doesn't love going? Obviously, Christmas here takes place in the summer. So in the winter, they just have non-Christmas winter markets, which is a little bit sadder, but Em's been keen to check it out, the famous Melbourne winter market. So we're going to head there tonight because it's actually one of the last nights that it's on. We're going to try and find some cool food, hopefully something warm and potentially Christmassy, and get some Christmas vibes while nowhere near Christmas in the year. But anyway, and then tomorrow the road trip begins. So peace, see you at the market. We are here at the winter market, not Christmas, in August market. It's not super cold. We're kind of overdressed, I think.
In Melbourne.
In Melbourne, yeah, that's the important thing. In Melbourne, there's like loads of stuff all over the place. We literally got here as it opened, so it's still building up. There's still people coming in. There's food everywhere. We want to try everything, but we can't. We've literally already done one lap and looked at all of the food options, and it's difficult, right? What are you thinking? What are your like bao buns, obviously?
Bao buns. Sorry, bao bun or goulash.
Goulash, okay. There's like chicken and chips, like swirly potatoes on a stick.
Paella.
Paella, which looks much better than the one I got in Brisbane. That thing was disgusting.
Unless it's the same people.
Oh god, if it's the same people, run away. No, that actually looked better. There's so much stuff. There's like curries. Yeah, I don't know. There's too much to choose from. That's the problem. And it all smells, it looks really good, and we are starving. So I'm just gonna walk around, figure out what we want, and then catch up when we got the food. Whoosh. Okay, so we just picked up bao buns. There you go. From a place called Wonder Bao. We got 2 pork, and Em really wanted to try the custard one, which is that one. Never tried a custard one before, so we're going to see how it goes. Pork first?
Yeah.
Yeah? Alright, here we go. Wonder Bao. Look pretty good. That's nice. It's like fluffy, light, rich barbecue sauce with some pork in there, veggies, still steaming. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. Okay, so time for the custard.
Kind of looks like a boiled egg.
It does. It really does look like a boiled egg. Ooh, smells good. Cheers.
It smells sweeter than it tastes.
Yeah, it smells way sweeter than it tastes. Yeah, that's really interesting. The custard is like really warm, so it's curdled into like a paste. I don't know, when I bite into a bao bun, I just expect more savoury, like meat flavours. So it kind of messes your head a little bit.
Yeah, no, not a fan of that one.
No. So you've waited so long to try custard bao and it's overhyped.
It's fine. I'll try one from London.
Okay. Well, the pork ones were like outstanding, so that makes up for it, I guess.
Yeah.
That was just the appetizer, onto the main course. Let's go. So we settled on the main course. We're gonna go for this goulash style soup in bread thingy. Yeah, this one's leek and potato flavored. Get a load of that. We haven't had goulash since Budapest 2023.
Yeah.
So it's been like 2 years. I'm excited to see what it tastes like when you're upside down on the other side of the world. You want to go for the first bite? Take a bite of the bread. Sure? Okay.
It has to be tough to keep the soup in.
No, that's actually really good though. What are your thoughts?
Good.
It's really good.
Good
Yeah,
soup.
good soup. Right. We're gonna scram this down and then we'll catch you in a little bit. Whoosh. Okay, so naturally we had to finish off with some pudding. So we got a giant vanilla cannoli. Holy cannoli. Yeah, we're gonna give this a taste. Do you want the first bite, or do you want me to have the first bite? Because it's gonna squirt out of whatever end. Okay, she's going for it. What?
I just taste custard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's some drums going on, like some street performance. So you probably can't hear me, but I'm gonna eat this now. This place is getting more and more crazy by the second. There's a guy on a unicycle juggling in a top hat. There's drums going on behind us. There's like more and more people piling in every second. This is wild. It's pretty sick though. So that was the Melbourne Winter Market. It was pretty good. We enjoyed ourselves for sure. We finished the night off with the 7-Eleven Slurpee. Yeah, what was your favourite thing in the winter market?
Probably the goulash.
Yeah, the goulash was like filling. The taste was actually so good. Just like the atmosphere was crazy. So many people, so much going on. Like when we first got there, we like got in as soon as it opened, so it was like not that many people. And then as the night went on, it just built up and up and up, and it was wild. And it's not actually that cold, which is kind of nice because Victoria gets pretty cold in the winter, but this is like a really comfortable temperature right now. So it's like ideal.
Even though we're all bundled up with hats.
Yeah, bundled up with hats. We're warm. Did you get Christmassy vibes?
Kind of, but not because like the UK ones have all the log cabins and there wasn't any of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was like snowflake like decorations everywhere.
There was a snowman.
There was
our snowman. And, but yeah, no, it was pretty good. As winter markets go, pretty happy with that. So that was a success. And we'll see you in the morning for the start of this crazy road trip. See you then. Boosh. Good morning. Well, it's not the morning, it's actually the afternoon, but you left us last night. You find us here on the road in, keen viewers might be aware, we are not in the Honda CR-V. We are actually in a fully built, brand new camper van. And that is because the road trip we are undertaking is so massive that, one, you need somewhere to sleep along the way, and we didn't want to risk endangering the engine on the old CR-V with the distance that we've got to cover. So welcome to our ride and our home for the next 7 days as we make the crossing from Melbourne all the way to the other side of Australia. That's right, we're going to Perth. A journey that is going to cover over 2,200 miles or 3,600 kilometers, if that's the way you do measurements. It's going to take us 7 days, and it is going to be a hell of a journey. We'll stop off tonight just outside of Adelaide, which is the main city in South Australia. Tell you a little bit more about how we've got our hands on this motorhome and how we're making this journey for probably the cheapest way possible, unless you do it in your own van build. But even then, it might work out cheaper than that, who knows. So sit back, relax in style, and we will see you at Adelaide. Peace. So on our last road trip, I mentioned the giant banana sculpture that we stopped at, and I mentioned that there were some other giant sculptures dotted around Australia. Well, we've just arrived at one that might be cooler than the banana. It is the giant koala. That is massive. So yeah, that's the giant koala. So we've done the giant banana, now we've done the giant koala. That's even bigger than the banana. It's very massive. It doesn't have all of the theme park though. It's just got a little cafe and some ice cream. So I think we're gonna grab some ice cream and then get back on the road on the long old drive to Adelaide. Let's go. Good morning and welcome to the side of the road in Adelaide. I'm gonna head in because it's really noisy out here. This is the van. That was loud. Yeah, this is the inside of the van. We stayed in Adelaide last night. We spent like well over 10-12 hours on the road. It was pretty rough, but we just had to get here and it took a bit longer than we were expecting. So we stayed at this petrol station last night. It was a bit tricky to get used to the van for the first night. It's got a decent amount of space, like the bed there's pretty good, and it does pack away into like a table and chair area, which is quite nice. Got the kitchen just here. We cooked our dinner on that, a bit of pasta last night, nice and easy. But yeah, it does get, it's quite loud when you've got a main road right behind you, and even with the blinds down, like these come down, there's still quite a bit of light that gets in, so you get woken up pretty early, but that's fine because we've got a long way to go, and yeah, we need to get going already. It's going to be another 7-8 hour drive today, but hopefully we'll get to our next stop before midnight. Yeah, we got here about midnight last night and that wasn't great, so we're just going to get on the road now and see how we get on. Let's go. So we're cruising down the highway and then there's like flashing lights ahead. I'm thinking, oh, okay, maybe there's been an incident. There was yesterday when we were driving along, all of a sudden there was just a car upside down at the side of the road, load of police directing us around it. This time we're stuck in traffic because they are transporting a house down the highway, and it's only a 2-lane highway and it takes up the entire street. Might be stuck behind this for a while. I thought trying to park this van was stressful last night. Imagine trying to parallel that into a space. Okay, so we've just been driving across the outback for a few hours. God, I should have put a hat on, it's a bit windy. And we are officially halfway across Australia, which is really cool. And we found another one of the giant sculptures. I had no idea there were so many along this way, but check it out. This one, it's like a giant parrot. It's got a proper name, but I don't really know how to pronounce it properly. But yeah, giant pink parrot. There you go. If you do know the real name, please tell me. We're gonna take some pictures and then get back on the road. Woo. Good morning, campers. You join us somewhere in South Australia at a rest stop at the side of the road. Yesterday we did have a planned stop, and well, what we thought was somewhere to stay. As it happens when you're on the road or traveling, plans go out the window. We got stuck in traffic, or should I say someone trying to move their entire house down the road. Then the phone sat nav tries to take you 20 miles off road, and that's just not feasible. And then the site that you're supposed to be staying at, it doesn't exist, or it's not there, or you just can't find it. So we ended up driving deep into the night again last night, stopping here, like I said, somewhere in South Australia, roughly 500 miles or so west of Adelaide. It was a big old drive yesterday, but today we can't really afford to do that, because the next leg of our journey does take us into the outback itself. So yeah, it's going to be a bit more of more serious calculations on where we stop and how far we go. Fuel is going to become more scarce, and conditions are going to become more sparse than this. Like look at where I am right now, literally in the middle of nowhere. It got pretty cold last night, as you can see. I've got a jumper and a hat on. I imagine it's going to be like that again tonight. If we can get to a campsite, then we can actually plug the van in and have like heating and proper electricity and stuff. So yeah, we'll go for that. But if not, it's going to be a case of finding a rest stop before sunset this time, but don't want to be driving through the outback in the dark. Last night was sketchy enough, the potential of animals jumping out at us. You do not want to hit a big kangaroo while doing 100 kilometers an hour. So yeah, we're going to press on, see how far we get, hopefully find a good place to stop for the night, and try and push for the border of Western Australia. Let's go. What is up? You catch us just stopped by the side of the road quickly, taking a little break from the driving, because we've been driving for like, I don't know, like 3 hours now or something. But check out where we've stopped, because this is awesome. There's the van. Look at this. It's just literally out in the bush, properly out in the Australian outback now. But just take this in, because like, this is Australia, man. This is crazy, you know? It's so different out here, like from the cities, Sydney and Melbourne and all the rest. Yeah, we're gonna keep going as far as we can tonight, really pushing for the border of Western Australia, because there's so much stuff we want to see when we get to Western Australia, like Perth. Jesus, flies everywhere. Like when we get to Perth, and then there's a place called Esperance as well that we want to try and get to. So we really got to get moving. But we'll probably take the next stop as our campsite for the night, as a fly goes in my face. But we'll keep driving and catch you at the camp. Peace. This is as outback as it's gonna get. We've literally just driven through like a twister. There's another one forming there. Yeah, you can see through the window there is nothing, just an empty expanse for hundreds and hundreds of miles. There are no trees out here. Yeah, there's another twister, like within a few minutes. Yeah, this is proper now. This is crazy. That's so wild. And I can tell you, we drove straight through one because it was like on the road. The wind, like feeling that through the steering wheel, was really, really crazy. But yeah. Welcome to the outback. This is it now until we get to Western Australia. There is absolutely nothing until the border, which is still like a couple 100 miles away. We're going to push on as far as we can, hopefully make it to the border, but we'll see. If not, we'll have to camp out in the outback for the night. Hell yeah, let's go. Peace. Oh my god, we're getting attacked by a fly. So we've just taken another little detour, because the road we were following, it's very windy, the road we were following is mostly inland for a long way. Literally ever since we left Melbourne, this has been the furthest, well I guess ever since we left Adelaide, truthfully, it's the furthest we've been from the ocean in a long time. But like I said, the road comes back into the coast as a fly goes in my ear, and you get this view. Check this. So we're just walking over to the viewpoint to check it out, take some cool pictures, and then jump back on the road. It is quite windy. The air is cold for sure. It was, when we were stopped back there, it was like hot, the sun's on you, sweltering, but yeah, the wind is really chilly right now, so I reckon it's going to be a cold night. But yeah, we're just going to go check out this cliff. It literally just drops straight into the ocean. How sick is this view?
Amazing.
It's cold, we're getting back in the van and back on the road.
You can see baby whales here in the winter. They're probably like closer to sunrise or sunset, but that would be so cool.
Yeah, they're out there somewhere. Okay, it's cold, let's go. What's up? Welcome to the inside of the motorhome. We're just cooking our dinner right now. We've made it to Western Australia. This is huge. Although Western Australia is the biggest state and it's massive, and we've only just made it in. We're still a long way away from Perth. We're still in the outback. We didn't want to drive for too long tonight. It's like the shortest drive we've done. We still drove for what, 5 hours today? We covered a lot of ground going through the outback because there's not a lot to stop at and see. We stopped at a few things like we've shown you, but it is really beautiful here. Like, it is absolutely beautiful. I'll just whip the camera around to the back and you'll see the view that we're going to be sleeping with tonight. Look at that. The sun's going to be setting over there. That's stunning. Yeah, we're having chicken fajitas for dinner. And while it's cooking, I thought I'd talk you through a little bit about how we were able to get this motorhome, because it is brand new, fully stocked up. Just while I drain the black beans, organic black beans from Woolies. Yeah, because as you're probably aware, if you're into traveling or want to go traveling, then you'll know that renting a motorhome these days is really, really expensive. Back in 2020, we had a motorhome rented for Canada, and we were going to be spending 4 weeks driving around Canada in a motorhome. Obviously, due to the pandemic, we couldn't do that, and ever since the pandemic, the price has just been going up and up and up. And if you want to rent a motorhome in popular motorhome places like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, it's just ridiculous. You're looking at thousands, if not tens of thousands of pounds just for a couple of weeks, and we can't afford to do that. I'm sure you probably can't either. What we did was looked around at the options, and we found what's called a relocation vehicle. Basically, in Australia and other places around the world, companies operate vehicles that they need moving from city to city. The company we went with, it was called iMover, and there are other options available. Now what they do is, yeah, like I said, they offer relocation vehicles, so you'll be looking at cars or SUVs, utes, that sort of thing, pickup trucks if you're talking to Queen's English, that they need transporting from city to city. Now sometimes it's going to be shorter trips like Melbourne to Sydney, sometimes it's going to be longer trips like Melbourne to Perth, and the deals change every day. There's not always the same deals. When you look on a Tuesday, there's on a Wednesday, it's going to be different stuff, and it gets booked up really quickly because the price of renting these relocation vehicles is $1 per day. That is such a good price. And so if you're going to look at these options, I recommend, if you've signed the vehicle you're looking for and find the route that you're looking for, do not hesitate, because they will get booked up and you have no guarantee that that deal is going to come around anytime soon. For us, it was a motorhome like this going from Melbourne to Perth, and we just jumped on it, booked it as soon as we could, and figured out the logistics later on. There are a few restrictions when you do the relocation, so you've got a kilometre distance restriction and a time limit. So for us, we've got to get to Perth in 7 days, and we need to do it in under 3,700 kilometres if we don't want to pay any extra. It is only 28 cents per kilometre, so that's not really the end of the world if we do go over, because there's a couple, you know, detours and stuff we want to see along the way, especially now we're here in Western Australia. There is places we want to see, places we want to stay at, but that's all going to be tomorrow and onwards. This leg of the journey was just get here as fast as we can, and I think we've done that, and done it in style. For $1 a day, this motorhome is so sick. We've got a bathroom, we've got a shower, well, a toilet and a shower. There's a microwave, stove, sink. We've got this amazing bed. There's a TV, fridge, freezer. Like, it's so sick. And it's basically brand new. Like, when we picked it up, it had done 400 kilometers. Can't get a better deal than this. I would really recommend, if you get the chance, if you're in Australia or another country that has it and you want to move around, do really think about doing a relocation vehicle, because yeah, it is pretty good. I will turn that up. But yeah, this is us now. We're just going to camp here for the night, take in these sweet sights, watch the sun go down, and then tomorrow we want to get to a place called Esperance as the rice boils over. Esperance is like a seaside town in Western Australia, and it's meant to be super picturesque, super like stunning, and we want to stay there for at least a day, so we have a break from driving for one thing, and yeah, just have some fun over there. So I think this will be the end of this part of this leg of the video. So we'll catch you in the next video for the next part of the road trip. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. We'll see you in the morning / the next video. Peace out.